Is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, closet swing traders. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. We got you guys piling into the room. I do have one screen up today on my end, so we got to go back and forth a little bit, but that's okay. We'll make it work. We will make it work. We got Chuck in the house. Good morning to CJ, Adam, Alex. Good morning to Amy, Andy. Bill is going to rock with us. We got D up bright and early. Good morning to Greg Gilbert, Jason P. King. We got Jay Linder in the house. Good morning to Joe, Lauren Martina, Richard Jet, Sean Bell. We got Wayne rocking with us. Good morning to all my peeps out in YouTube land. We got Brooke. She made the transition from the chat back to YouTube land. That's okay. We got Honey Roy. Good morning to you as well. And yeah, let's see, the Zoom link was delayed. Okay, got you. All right, so let's see what we're doing into the market. Adam wants to take a look at TGIM. Can you give us thoughts? And on W and DraftKings as well. Yeah, absolutely. So we'll definitely cover those. Let's start off with the SPY, though. So we do have a little bit of a gap up. Pretty insane day. And this is going to be August. This is going to be, I don't see much happening different than some chop at these levels, which August could become a little bit frustrating. So let's just go back even to Friday. There's definitely some money to be made in this market. The question is when, where, how, why, right? And a lot of the if you go bullish, let's say we went bullish pre-market, right? We had a little bit of sign that this could run. First candle out of the gate looks good. We even got some volume over here coming in. And a first initial trap of the day. And then you go, okay, this is going to be bearish. The bearish side, short-lived. Short-lived, then you have a decent-sized rally up higher. So if you were short and you were quick and you were taking profits, fantastic. Then you're like, okay, well, I guess we're starting to break out. We look good. I think I even said this last week. June, July, this is perfect. Okay, direction's bullish. All right, you start probably getting stopped out to any of the bearish side of things, and then we have a big reverse in the market. And again, is it possible to tell you're making this size of a move before it happens? Probably not. You have so many levels of support. None of those held. We kind of just held here for a second and just dropped right through it. And we had a pretty big sell-off. So you're going to feel like you take profits too quickly here because you don't know that's coming. You're probably not taking profits quick enough here, probably not taking profits quick enough here. So it's going to be a very challenging market. I think very choppy. Maybe if we get something else, catalyst, CPI, something. I think the Fed is essentially off in August, though, so we're not going to see too much there. So I think the best thing to do, honestly, right now is probably take a few less trades, take your profits quickly, and I think you have to move your stops a lot quicker than we've seen in June, July, probably for most of the remainder of August. But keep in mind, at the risk of not really maximizing profits, right? We could see a big bullish day or a big bearish day today. With this open, I don't know. We are gapping up a little bit. We do have VPOC up pre-market. The level that I want to see if we could break through is 449.39. If we can get past that, that will give me a little bit of a reason to say, all right, we might continue bullish. But every single bull run that we've had, at least in August, has been sold. So I kind of want to just let this thing play out bullish and then take all opportunities to the bearish side. I feel like the bearish side of things might be on the table to pay out a little bit better today. So we will see what comes up from the SPY. Let's throw this right back to the daily, though. And Friday, we did come in with a nice bearish engulfing candle. Looking kind of weak. We still have a little bit of a gap fill down here, this 442.51. We're going to have a little bit of level of support somewhere at 443.73. And again, right back to this 449.24. If we can get into that zone, that might be an opportunity to start looking to short blindly, buy some puts in the market, some individual names, and we'll see if it wants to hold. But the market will be stubborn and resistance Win just says $4 candle on Tesla. Just got a $4 candle. We'll take a look at that as well. We got the Qs, another bearish engulfing candle. This one is a gap up, and this is going to open right at that key resistance. So we have key resistance from, I believe this is what, Thursday? Key resistance on Thursday. We got to get through this 374.16. Otherwise, at open, this is a very good retest spot. This might be a spot where anybody who did get trapped on the wrong side of the bullish camp on Friday, they might take this opportunity to take some chips off the table, start reducing some of the money in the markets, just in case we do get a little bit of a further pullback, right? And the entire market is based on supply and demand. Up in this zone, there's not a lot of demand. There's a lot more supply. People wanting to try to lighten some of the positions from just an absolutely crazy year. And I think we can see that. So let's see what the Qs want to do. But at open, if we stay right here, I would actually be looking a little bit more short on the Qs. If it does want to pop bullish, I'm thinking somewhere 376.56 would be my next target that this thing could run into. Otherwise, to the downside, we still have this gap down here and a little bit of support coming in ahead of the gap. So that's 372.04 and then down to 369.60. So to me, it still looks like we're a little bit weak. This could all be sold off really quickly. I would not be shocked. Let me get some of the Adams picks. Sorry, just Wayfair and DraftKings. All right. Change of heart on the other one. All right, let's see what we got here on Wayfair. Let's see where the volume areas come in. But this one is pretty much in squeeze zone. Valuation overvalued. They did, I think, actually also come in with an upgrade today. Somebody upgraded them to $110. I would be surprised if we still see more upgrades coming in, as just people don't want to be on the wrong side of the upgrade. That's bad for business. So I think you're going to get a lot of people start to chase this thing in terms of upgrades, and maybe you can push it further. The real reason, there was zero volume in this area. There was nothing in the zone. No liquidity to really hold this thing back. Wide open field, and you're getting a lot of squeezing. And I think the squeezing could continue. So while I think it's a little bit overpriced by like a lot, I mean, we were just at $30, $36, $37. That's what I mean when you come in late with these upgrades. You've pretty much went over 100% of where we were sitting at. Just where was the upgrade when we were down at the $36, $37 range? So I feel like the upgrade in general is a little bit late. Anything with the squeezes will act probably a little bit different than the market. So I could see some more potential upside to this thing. The immediate target would probably take us back in this $90.18 range. That's where we failed last time. We start getting above that. Yeah, we're back right into that zone where there's not a lot of liquidity. So we could see the squeeze go to 108, 120, something like that. DJ Dan was pointing out down here. I think I even had a couple messages on Slack. People were asking about Wayfair. I was like, yeah, anything on the 36, I think that looks good. So DJ Dan early on the upgrade. Today's upgrade, I think, is just chasing, to be honest. But I don't want to short. It's very, very tough to go short on any of these squeezes. If you start getting in the way of some of these squeezes, you're going to probably get your face ripped off. So looking for opportunities to either buy or just sit out and watch by the dips and try to capture some of these squeeze to the upside. DraftKings. So DraftKings gave back a lot of profit the other day. Full on retest gap. It did hold in a really nice area. So if this thing was going to come back and the retest right where we got to, that was the spot to bounce, right? That was a full on retest today at open. Looks like we're kind of running back. So the question again that you have to ask yourself on DraftKings, what is the sentiment? I would think for the last few months, sentiment has been pretty bullish. We've been making a nice little break higher. I think the earnings were good. I think the conference call was good. I think the tweets by the CEO, I don't know if they're called tweets anymore. Maybe he changed it to X. So the X's now. The X was good. I'm not positive. I don't even know how to I don't even know how to keep up with that. But from what I guess they're still called tweets, what he put out is pretty bullish. And you like to see that from the CEO just kind of coming in and saying, stop selling shares. You're going to regret selling shares of DraftKings. We're going to make sure of it. I don't know if that's true or he's just kind of talking, but still, at least he's not saying our stock price is way too high and you should probably sell, aka Elon Musk. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I do think the sentiment's still bullish with this type of gap up. Again, all gaps are being sold right, or all rips are being sold right now. I wouldn't be shocked if this thing comes back down. I think the sentiment's still bullish. Let's see if we get down to the 32.24 to go bullish on it. And that's where my first stop I'd be looking, but maybe we could even come down to this 31.54. Friday's VPOC landed at the highest volume of the day, came in somewhere around 31.16. That could also be a spot I'm looking for support, but I think this is a move that probably ends up just fading first. Otherwise, if we're looking at DraftKings longer term basis, again, you have a little bit of volume area, somewhere around 36.13, very little. If we get past that, I have targets up to 49.42. That's, I think, the eventual target for DraftKings. But again, if we're day trading it, that $49 is useless to us. And I think today, maybe a little bit of a pullback, I'd at least be looking for it. And if it doesn't come, I'll just miss it to the bullish side on a day trade basis. Let's see. Win says, I see new names, which means new RLT members. Yes. If you are new in RLT, throw a little one into that chat pane. We do want to make sure we welcome you guys. Kevin Stone says TSN. TSM. Was earnings, I believe, right? Yeah. So Tyson missed by 42%, surprise to the downside. They missed 3.57, 486 million to the downside on the revenue. And probably a well-deserved gap down. Let me just go back to weekly on this one. Where are we sitting at the weekly? We have a little bit of support here on the weekly. So I don't know if it's going to be the easiest short, but that is a pretty horrible miss. Where's the volume? So volume, a little bit of volume came in last week, some decent volume on the breakout. You still also had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days or 6 weeks in a row. People were buying. You're now trapping 4 of those weeks, 5 of those weeks. So I don't know how well this support's going to hold up. We didn't even come in to fill that gap. That's not that bullish. Right back into this high short volume area. So the only thing concerning would be that we are at a little bit of support. Otherwise, the next support is probably going to come in at 49.50. If we break that, that's not a good look for Tyson. In terms of volume areas, again, this is kind of the zone that has to hold. Otherwise, there's not much keeping us to the next stop, 44.33. And then if it really starts going sour for Tyson Foods, $34.25. So if I was to buy for the long term, I'd be looking for that much, much lower price. Cut this bad boy in half, and then you might get some interest from DJ on that one. But day trade wise, yeah, I think we are trapping a lot of people on this, and I wouldn't be surprised if this thing comes in lower. Maybe some chop early, and then I think probably look to sell. Let's see if we get Tyson higher on the list. TradingView last week at least was the slowest thing in being able to move tickers around. So let's see if today works better. Okay. X-rays, I'm not sure what that is. I think he went with something original posts. I think I missed it or just confused. Welcome to the fun, Nelson. Yep. Welcome, Nelson. Appreciate you joining us. Look forward to trading with you. Tyson and LUV. Good be good. Short plays. It could be good short plays. Gotcha. Let's take a look at LUV. That's where that's at LUB. Let's see. Let's check out the volume area a little bit. There was some decent volume here. The next real big spike is probably about 31.80. So I think that would be probably our initial target down. So it's about 60 cents to the downside. It's definitely a little bit of a gap and go where we are hanging into the lows of Friday for right now. So still inside day technically on LUV. And then probably the next first immediate support would be 32.23, but we are in a higher liquidity area, so there could be some more chop on LUV. TSN, I think if I had to choose one, TSN would be the better, smoother potential to short. This one too, let's throw a quick little fib on this. Well, I don't have to, it's already there. We're hanging out right at that 618. So if somebody is bullish, which again, are we at all-time highs on Southwest? No. We just got down from $64 and this price has already been cut in half. So there could be some interested bulls down here. And you are sitting at a good location to go long. So again, I don't know if we drop from here. If we do start breaking and closing underneath the 618, the next stop will probably take us this 78% retracement, which is an okay level, but that's $30.66. Otherwise, probably most likely down to this 28.34, which would be a full-on 100% retest of that initial pop. So prices could come lower, but this is the area it's got to hold if it's going to. So we'll see. But I think we get a little chop on LUV. TSN, I think, would be a better short if we had to. Let's check out that Tesla candle. Let's see what that $4 pop is. I don't see a $4 pop unless it was to the downside. Hold on. There's a $4 drop. 255.36. Yep, so that's probably the candle. So Tesla's definitely given up any of the pre-market gains that they had. We're actually below the open from yesterday. This one could get fun. This one could get fun. Was there news that came out on Tesla? Yeah, I thought you said $4 pop, but no, $4 drop. I'm not sure if news came out or what just happened on Tesla, but this looks like a pretty enticing short. Targets could be down to 245.24. Oh, they got a new CFO as of August 4th, 2023. Tesla appointed. I know I'm going to butcher the name, as chief financial officer in addition to his current role as chief accounting officer. All right, so new CFO for Tesla. Markets don't seem to like him too much. I don't know what he ever did to people, but they're not happy with it. Tesla's trying so hard to stay in the positives with that gap up. All right, so they gave it back again. This does look like a decent short. You can see a little bit of support maybe coming in at 247.62. Realistically, longer term for Tesla, new CFO, I think is, I mean, if you're selling just based off that, it's probably overreaction. Still, we're kind of up in this higher zone. We didn't really retest any of these candles. We still got a lot of gaps open on Tesla. So I think Tesla still could drop. And again, I like the fact that we're below that Thursday open. We'll see where we actually open on this one. We got 11 more minutes. You got one of these moving averages just starting to come in. But I don't really see, I mean, really 245.24 would be my target. With this pre-market though, I don't want to, I mean, we already started to drop a little bit. So I think the closer we get, if we get any type of rally into kind of retest this 255.07, that would give us better risk reward. And that would now make it about a $10 move to the downside, which I find a lot more attractive. So I would love to see Tesla get bought up a little bit and maybe look to eventually short this thing. CFO and CAO, two big roles for one person. Yeah, but the CEO is also the CEO of two big companies as well, actually more. But so those guys are hard workers over there at Tesla. They just stack those positions up. Let's see. So Tesla, yeah, this is now trapping a lot of people. I would love this thing. Even if this thing starts coming to like this 253.97 range, I think that was a good spot for shorting. That would come right back into this. This is what, Wednesday resistance or support. All right, we'll take a look at that. Any other tickers that you guys want? Let me just check YouTube real quick. Ivo says late to the party. No, the party just cannot start if you're not here. So now we get to go. All right, we got Coin and Amazon from Thomas. Let's take a look at Coin. I think Bitcoin was down a little bit this morning as well. Let's see if we're gapping anything fun. Still kind of looks like we're in that pullback from that initial little pop that we had, which was a pretty astonishing run as well. I mean, a lot of these things just, I mean, that's they got squeezed. They got squeezed and we're giving it back. So we're at a level that maybe some interest. This is a good retest spot. Again, slight gap up, only about 40 cents, still technically in Friday's range. I think Coinbase continues to sell, so I think it's still sell the rips on Coinbase. At least for now, we should. I mean, I don't even think Fibonacci wise, you're probably looking at 76.45 would be a decent area to start looking as a 50% retracement. Otherwise, yeah, I think we do get some continued pressure on Coinbase, even if there's a little. Technically, it is a gap and go, just going to be inside, so it's going to be a little tougher. Amazon. Let's see, pre-market. Pre-market is a bit of a gap up. Again, we're right into that high volume area from Friday. Even though this is a gap and go, this is a spot for a short. Not saying it's going to work, but at open, if you would, I mean, if you're okay losing an R, because that's probably what happens. But this would be your spot to look short, have your stop somewhere about 143.80. And then you're playing risk reward. As soon as this thing starts to really break and start holding above this 141.35, I'd be bringing my stops down pretty quickly. As it is technically a gap and go, just still inside day candle from Friday. But right now at this VPOC level, if you're looking for a short, as long as that stays below where we're at now, that would be the spot. PayPal released something called a stable coin. I like how we just don't even trust the Fed to make money anymore. We're just like, we'll do it ourselves. We'll just create our own coins. They work for monopoly. Let's see. PayPal is gapping up slightly. So we got just under a dollar gap. Still, again, inside Friday's range. So nothing crazy. Let me check Boeing. You could also check out Square too. Boeing, right now it's holding. Again, I'm still more bullish than bearish on Boeing at this point. I would like to see a little bit more of a pullback. This is also going to be an inside day, so out of the gate, I wouldn't touch it. This would be 231.96 though is the area I'd be looking to buy. Probably have a stop somewhere at 230.30. Gives us a little bit of risk reward to the higher side. CNK. Yeah, CNK, that one might continue to squeeze. Or would be looking for it to do so. I think it's still by the dip. I would like to see this thing come back down to 1705 before I really get interested. WBD would be the other one. I think both of them probably. I think Mattel. I think they said the Barbie movie is now hitting like $1 billion or something like that. So Mattel might be one to look at as well for today. Just maybe on some news. I think Mattel probably ends up fading the gap. I don't even know the ticker symbol. Mattel. MAT. I think it's MAT. I think they were gapping up a little bit on the $1 billion Barbie movie. I think CNK is more of a squeeze, but could be a little bit getting some love from the Barbie movie as well. And then the company, Warner Brothers, they had a pretty solid candle on Friday. I think if I was to watch a short squeeze today, the one that I think has the most potential, and again, I would still like to see a little pullback. That's a big, massive move. It is 2 days in a row. For the last 2 days, we went from 12.14 to closing at, or to hitting the highs of 14.03. So even this one's gapping up a little bit. So I think if I'm going to take a squeeze play, WBD should be on the list to watch for some continuation on further pops. But CNK, that one's already run for a little bit. WBD looks like it's about to break out. So I've been watching this one. How's China doing? Let's check out Baba. Did not cover Square. Now let me pull that up as well. Baba, a little bit of a gap up. Still going to be at a little resistance zone. Let me check out square, aka block, aka I would like this one to fade more. I wouldn't mind owning some square. I just want it as low as possible. This one is a little bit of a gap up, lots and lots and lots of volume coming in, still from that. Was that the earnings miss? I think it was. Oh, the earnings beat. Yeah. So earnings beat, gap down. That is a strong and disturbing candle. I think any opportunity to sell any rips in this one would make sense. Probably looking for about somewhere around the 66.33. If we could get up in that zone, I think our risk reward becomes better trying to fade this, but that is a pretty damaging candle on Square. And that's also off of good earnings. Like they actually surprise beat on both to the upside. But when you don't have any demand at these higher levels, you're going to start seeing some of this sell-off come in. So right now, even longer term, I mean, that kind of looks like a little bit of a head and shoulders, not really the correct location on the chart. Head and shoulders, I prefer to be at the higher end of a move. But all this, I think, is coming down. I think there's going to be more pressure, probably in Square, probably in PayPal too. To be honest, I think PayPal probably sells a little bit. Let me see if I'm missing anything in YouTube land. We got 3 minutes left. Tesla looks yummy. Yep, Tesla does look pretty good. Brooke says she's walking the dog again. That dog got some serious exercise. All right, let's see. Carnival Cruise. This one, again, looks like we're starting to break down on Carnival. We do have a slight little gap up, about 12 cents. Again, if this one starts to rip, I think shorting this one. That was a pretty weak close on Carnival. And looking for more downside in that one. I think Jeremy is in Carnival, if I'm not mistaken, as a swing trade to the bearish side. So far, that's looking like it's working. Lucian says, yep. Yeah, I think I heard him talking about it. Micron, a little bit of a gap down on Micron. So it's a little bit of a choppy market today. Airbnb 140.17 was a close. We're getting up to 141.85. We got a little bit of decent gap on this one. After 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row of bearishness, maybe you could get some bulls interested in Airbnb. We'll have to see. Beyond Meat, nothing crazy. Hector, what's going on? What's going on in Florida land? And then Apple with a very also damaging candle. Same thing is Square. I think we do have another little bit of a gap up, about 24 cents to the higher side, but this candle looks atrocious. Very, very weak close, no wick whatsoever. Obviously, huge volume coming in. Berkshire Hathaway did report earnings. They beat on every front because, I mean, it's Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger. So they beat everywhere. They look good. From the stock portfolio that Berkshire has, 40% of it, 40% of their stock gains or companies' holdings is Apple. So I don't know how Berkshire on Friday didn't sell off more. Probably because Warren Buffett's still involved, but yeah, Apple does not look great. So I think Apple, this is very damaging. I would be looking to short again any rips on this one. Apple is always a very, very tough one to short because you're going to have the Warren Buffetts of the world and people who follow Warren Buffett just kind of buying any dips possible. But longer term, Apple will probably be higher than this current candle. We will probably see again all-time highs on Apple, but you can't ignore that run, that gap. If this thing starts coming down, that would be incredible. But everybody out there, YouTube land, make sure you guys hit the like, subscribe. If you have a dog, I do suggest taking it out for daily walks as well. Otherwise, you guys are incredible. Be safe out there in the market. Be patient, be slow, take profits when you can get them. And, just humble yourself in August because crazier months will come. And I think August is a little bit more of a battle month